Hi and hello watch fans, and welcome back to Chronopolis Radio, hosted by TRTS. I am here with a returning guest of the show, the sexiest of boys, Guillaume Ledet of Nivada, Grenchen, amongst other things. But we're going to talk about Nivada first. Guillaume, welcome to the studio, mate. How are you?
Very excited by this show, this new show that we co-organize with so many cool brands. So we are super happy to have invented these new products and to show you all the wonder that they are. So can't wait to be there.
So talking about this organisation of this event is where I think we'd like to start, because we've spoken to several brands already. Obviously, we had you top of the list to record, but you're very busy and very important, and we'll get round to exactly what you've been up to recently very soon. But let's talk about that. You've come together with fellow brands in a similar price bracket, attempting to do similar things, rewriting the modern narrative of watchmaking as a group almost. How's that process been like for you as someone that's very used to managing multiple brands, shall we say, egos and tensions?
But it was quite easy because we started this collaboration with Baltic and Chronopolis, Space One in Nevada, like 3 or 4 years ago now, I think, at the Beau Rivage. And so when the Beau Rivage was in work, they have to redo all the hotel. They are doing a big how to say in English, travaux, I don't know. But they're working the full surface, and so we had already the connection between the brands. Then we had also Atelier Wen and Amida and others, and so it was already quite easy to communicate all together. So when we decided to go outside the Beau Rivage because we cannot do it anymore there. With Etienne, we were thinking to do, Etienne from Baltic, we are thinking to do something bigger, maybe something better organized, because it's not our work to do the a show, and we like what we did at in the US with wind up fairs and in New York and in San Francisco. So we said we need to do something like this, bring other cool brands we like, and then we went to the guys who were organizing the cool events for Sotheby's or Philips in Geneva, après-demain, the cool agency in Geneva. So I said, yeah, let's go to ask them a quote, and that's what we did. And then when we had some details about the organization, the budget, then we came to other brands from our network, from the Wind Up network and from the Micro Brands universe. And then we had all the guys. They present a super cool concept with Chronopolis, cool location, and then we move forward like this.
It is a super cool location, and the lighting is something I'm really excited about. I know I keep banging on about it, but it makes such a difference. You know, you've been to Palexpo before in your life, right?
Of course, yeah.
You know the environment that people have to exist in there for a week, you know, day in, day out, journalists traipsing the halls, breathing recycled air, eating overpriced snacks and not seeing daylight. Whereas with this fair, Chronopolis, it doesn't just feel like something fresh and new. It feels like it could become the heartbeat of Geneva Watch Week. Is that your intention, or are you quite happy for it to just remain as like a welcome addition to what is already a very established period of time?
At first, we have no not the ego to say it will be the heart of Geneva Week. I mean, Palexpo and the big fair with the big brands. It's always the big event. But from what you say, I think, and with the location very downtown Geneva, next to the lake, with the cool air, we want to have some fun there to bring the guys to drink some beers or something else, or champagne, or what you prefer, I don't know. But yes, and I think when you see the map of the Geneva Watch Week and you see that we are just in the center, I think it makes sense, and also I hope we will be more open than Palexpo, even if last year they start to open a bit more to the public. But yes, it will be not a bubble inside the bubble. So I hope people will come to see cool watches, cool people, and enjoy to be able to speak directly with the brands and see all our new novelties that are quite cool, I think. And I think those brands are bringing, as you said, a fresh air to the industry. So it makes sense with the location and everything.
Obviously, the organisation of Watches and Wonders is a massive, massive undertaking, so I don't want to cast too much shade on the people, the many hundreds of people working on that project, because I understand they're under a great deal of pressure. and I don't think you've done this deliberately, to do things almost exactly the opposite way around, as in being totally open, allowing the public to come in, being free and easy with the press, providing access to beer and sunlight. But it really makes a difference in the enthusiasm of the people that are going to be visiting this event. You don't feel boxed out, you don't feel vetted. Even for seasoned journalists, I know I've struggled in years past, and I know colleagues this year are struggling. Colleagues that have visited Palexpo before, and so theoretically should be on the system as like guests to invite for their meetings, are struggling to even get access. And seeing an event get out of the blocks like you've done so fast, and of course we're recording this ahead of time, it could be an absolute disaster. I'm sure it won't be, but like it just feels so energizing on our side, because we're like, okay, these watch brands, they want to be seen and they want to connect with people. There are loads of reasons to do an event like this, but for you, as I said before, a man that's got his fingers in many pies and has worked for many brands and has brought many brands back from either the death or near death. What's the most important thing for you when it comes to attending an event these days? Is it retailers? Is it press? Is it collectors? You tell me.
It's a bit of everything. At Nivada, because right now I'm speaking for Nivada, it's a bit of everything because we are doing half our business online, so B2C, and half now of our business, but double of the volumes offline in shops, in multi-brand shops. So we have like 150 point of sale retailing Nivada right now worldwide. So that's why we will have 2 locations in Geneva, one in Chronopolis, because I wanted to keep the more B2C press lifestyle at the fair, and also at Time to Watches just next to Palexpo, because my head of sales really need to be close to all the point of sales who are coming at Palexpo. So that was quite a hard decision for Nivada because it doubled the budget, and we are not Rolex yet, and so. So that was a big decision for us. And as I had Space One and all my friends at Chronopolis, I also wanted to support the fair, because I think it's bringing something new and cool and more open to the people. And I also want to have the people who are coming to Chronopolis to see our cool novelties for Nevada, such as the penguin erotic watch that we have just released the reveal 2 days ago.
Well, what about that for a quote? We're not Rolex yet. There's ambition wrapped in humility.
No, I didn't say yet yet, but I hope so. We never know, but no, I don't have this ambition.
Well, you know, Rolex has always been known for, if not firsts, being very close to being the first of many great developments in watchmaking, and then marketing the hell out of it. And you've given me the perfect segue to talk about the watch you just referenced there. Firsts, watchmaking firsts. Erotic watches are not something we see much of these days. Some people are glad of that. Some people are very sad that we don't get more options to express ourselves in that way on our wrist. And you have just released a watch which many people took to be an April Fool's Day joke.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It is. It's a very stylish addition to your Antatzik line. On the front, there's nothing to show that there's anything going on.
With the watch, just like
with the watch. Okay, for anyone listening to the radio, Guillaume has his trousers on for once, and I also have my trousers on. It's a very professional conversation. He's holding in his hands the latest watch, or one example of a latest watch to hit the Nivada Grenchen collection. Now, this is an erotic watch with a automaton, shall we say, some version thereof on the case back that shows 2 penguins engaged in amorous coitus when winding the watch. Talk us through the thought process, please, I think.
I mean, it's the 100 years of Nivada this year, so the brand has quite a legacy. And I wanted to do something that people can share and have fun sharing. And what do you share on Instagram with your friends? You share shits you see with girls, boys, funny jokes, and this kind of thing. So I was saying to myself, what can be viral? What can be shared between stupid guys like us? And I and I and I think to the erotic, of course, but and I said, oh, erotic, that's what you share a lot. Erotic watches, and then I said I don't want something too much like Ulysse Nardin or Blancpain, very where you see just big dick and big boobs, and real sex that can be a bit too much naughty, and I didn't want to lose my the friends of the brand and everything. So and the people who love Nivada. So I wanted to do something respectful with the history of the brand. And what you have on the case back of Antarctic collection, you always have, not always, but half of the vintage collection, you had the penguins. So I said to myself, what can I do be with penguins and erotic watches? Then I started to have this kind of YouTube search, like penguin having sex in Antarctica, and you can find some things. So I saw some good size penguin. And I explained my thought. That's how it came, you know. And then the big challenge was to find a watchmaker, a movement constructor that can help me on that. So I challenged a few different developer in Switzerland, and we didn't find the right thing. It was too expensive. We had to add some pushers. It was like hundreds of thousands of development and production. So I said, no, it's not working. So I was almost abandoning the project. And then I talked to some friends, and one of them had a great idea. As he's working on very different kind of style of project, he didn't want to be front face and name on this project. So we will call him a doctor or cold water on this project, and we have also a video with a penguin coming, explaining the project and the complication. And so yes, and the big challenge was to have very few little components to not make a production that can cost a lot, because in watchmaking what costs a lot is if you have many components in the movement, you increase the cost for each components, and then when you launch a production, it can kill a project, because the product price will be irrelevant. Because I wanted to have something also affordable to stick to the Nivada pricing, and to be at $1,569 USD. So that will be the price of the watch, and then we will have all the cool dials, the best sellers of the Nivada collection. So the only details on the front of the watch is erotic written next to Antarctic erotic, and then all the magic is coming when you wind the watch. So we have developed a system of a cam linked to the winding system. So each time you wind the watch at the speed you want, you can control the penguin style.
I absolutely love this. There are so many things that I want to say. Like, this is a whole new type of R&D. The process you must have gone through, the hours of penguin lovemaking you must have had to watch in the name of science and progress is disturbing. Yeah, raunchy and depraved is maybe a better way of putting this than research and development. But it was worth it, I think, because what you've come up with there, and for our more conservative listeners, don't worry, there is no phallus, no mammaries visible whatsoever. It's just two penguins, we could say attempting to piggyback one another if we want to show it to a kid and they say, what's going on here? Or we could just be honest with them and say, yes, two penguins having sex, and that's quite hilarious. And the cleverest thing about it for me is that this is a complication of sorts that doesn't drain the power reserve at all, because when it's on the wrist and the watch isn't being wound, it's completely inactive. This scene only animates when you wind the crown, you turn the ratchet wheel, and if you should go on the Nivada Grenchen website and look at the blow apart diagrams and explanations of this, because it's really ingenious. There's effectively, it's like a column wheel almost, isn't it? Like it's a crenellated wheel with a spring-loaded arm which it attaches to the winding mechanism, and then one penguin, the male penguin, is activated. But I suppose it could be a female penguin with additional components added. Whichever penguin is the dominant penguin is then caused to thrust towards the submissive penguin. I did not think when I started the real-time show that any of those words would ever come out of my mouth. I don't think I ever imagined I'd ever be talking about dominant and submissive penguins. Yeah, but this is innovation. Is
exactly.
It what the watchmaking industry needed, or is it what we wanted, or is it just an opportunity for us to really embrace creativity and development? And honestly, it does open up doors for this clever mechanism to be applied to other scenes, does it not?
Yeah, opening doors is the right word. I think, and
You're awful.
I know I can't impinge myself, but yes, I think it's as I said, in the video, the Dr. Qualter said at the end, we take watchmaking seriously sometimes, and I mean a lot of brands are maybe taking too much serious and on what they're doing, and I like to have a lot of fun with my friends and laughing, and I have a special sense of humor probably, but I always like to have some good mood and try to be funny at least, and bring some humor to my life and to the life of my friends. And I think this project is a bit a way to show this also, and but always not too naughty, and respect the brand and the heritage. So I think it was the cool move. We made some buzz, some virality with this project. I think maybe people discover the brand thanks to that also, and that was also the objective. I think we recruit like 6,000 emails already in 24 hours about the project. So that's what's crazy. So it's
Yeah.
big digits in natural way. So with all the reshare and everything on Instagram, and yes, and the development was quite in fact complicated at the beginning, and then when we find the ID and the solution, it was not that complicated. But no, we are super happy with this, and I think it will bring some fun and humor to the watchmaking.
I mean, you are a humorous chap. You're always smiling. You're a very gregarious man, bringing people together, sharing your experience, which is vast by this point, of course, with anyone that cares to ask. But you are serious. In the back end of this project, I really hate every term that I use at the moment now. Everything just sounds awful. There's a lot of thought. Like, this is a total concept, and there are elements of it that are humorous that some people might sort of dismiss as just glib. But when I look at it from a marketing perspective, I love how much you've embraced this. The availability periods, all based around the number 69, is just funny, but it's
Yeah,
also clever because it shows that you are willing to just go full bore with an idea like this and say, look, we know it's tongue in cheek,
yeah,
it's designed to make people smile. It's something private. It's not crass. It's not graphic. Like you said, there's not too much
absolutely.
nudity.
Yeah.
It's a lovely execution of a traditional complication, a traditional expression that we don't see very often in watchmaking. One thing about the campaign that I found very, very interesting and would like to get your thoughts and feelings on is the extensive use of AI in your marketing material. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of brands are trying to integrate AI into the way that they work, mostly to improve workflow processes. But you've put it front and center in this whole project with Dr. Coldwater, the anthropomorphic penguin who is the face of the project, but also with yourself generated walking around the Antarctic and finding this incredible watch hidden in an igloo bar in a snowstorm. Talk to us about your feelings of using AI as the face of a traditional brand like Nivada Grenchen.
I mean, it was quite an opportunity because at first we were starting to think to make a real movie. So I was going to go in the mountain and walk in the snow and discover something, and but then I had the idea to make the cool uh, club with the penguins dancing and everything, and then you said, okay, but here you need the 3D animation and everything, and the budget cost it will be crazy, and also you need to find a team to do that, and then you need to find the time to go there and everything, and maybe not get the right images. And then I spoke with the friends from Geneva agency après-demain, and they say, oh, we know a guy that is very good in AI, and I say, okay, but why not make a test? And then, I mean, in a few weeks you have something crazy for the cost of less than 1 day of shooting, and I mean, the decision is quite easy. Just take a few pictures of my face, put in the computer, and then at the end, after a few go and back, and you have something crazy that you can share and that make people laugh, and that is relevant. So yeah, it's a mix between technical solution, budget solution, of course, and also to bring some fun with something that we will not be able to do with a real 3D that will cost hundreds of thousands and maybe months to develop.
I totally understand it from those perspectives, from a budget constraint perspective, from a time frame perspective. And I think that with this project specifically, it fits quite well because it is like a bit more of a amusing take on the serious pursuit of horology, really. And I think it fits nicely in line with that. But do you think that it's something that you would feel comfortable rolling out across all model collections and
No,
everything? No. Tell me
no.
more.
No, but for example, we will launch a project with Space One and Baltic, a cool collaboration. And for this project, it was making no sense to make AI because it's more it's a totally different project. And this one will be only mainly real filming and everything. So it really depends on the subject of the movie, the goal you want to achieve on that. And I mean, if you want to bring penguin to life and have fun with it, AI is a cool solution for this kind of project. But I still work with my friend David in the Châtel to make the product movies. We just made a movie with Vulcan with him yesterday, so with traditional video and animation. But I think it will be a very big challenge for a lot of these guys because when you see the speed at which the AI is progressing every day, it's insane. I mean, I would never have thought to make a movie like this a few months ago. So it's maybe tomorrow it will be it will be, of course, even better tomorrow. So no, it's a big also it will be also ethical question probably to continue to work the old way, to contribute to all those guys who are doing good job in the pictures, in the movies, and in everything. But such as a lot of different like accounting or finance or everything, a lot of jobs are on the line also. So it will be also, I think, ethical proof to continue to work with traditional agency.
I think those are very big conversations, and we probably should get you back on the show in another 6 months maybe and see where AI is at to discuss that. I want to pick up on one thing that you alluded to earlier, and Alon noticed it when he was going through the list of brands and where they're exhibiting. To my knowledge at this point, you are the only brand with Nivada that has decided to display in 2 locations. Is that correct as far as you're aware as well?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Obviously, it's a big investment because this week in Geneva is expensive for a single booth, but to be present at both Chronopolis and Time to Watches is, a typical masterstroke, I think, that we would expect of you, and also separating consciously the kind of business you're doing in both locations, one more focused on retail. Time to Watch is right next to Palexpo makes perfect sense because it's very convenient for the retailers that are mostly going to be based there just to hop over to see you, and then to have the more lively and relaxed and informal event in the center of town as the heartbeat of the week, as I said. Chronopolis is brilliant, but how does that add to your preparation time, the focus that is necessary? Do you effectively have 2 separate teams working on
Yep.
both projects yet, or is it just all combined by one person at once?
It's same team. Nivada, we don't have hundred of people working, but we have quite a team now in sales. So it will be the sales team dedicated to B2B, dedicated to point of sale. As I said earlier, 150 point of sale right now, and we hope to have 200 and maybe 500 next year. So this is the big objective. So that's why it makes sense to be at Time to Watches also next to Palexpo. But last month we did like almost 2,000 watches a month. So I think we start to last year we made more than 10,000 watches. So we want to grow and to scale, and I think Nivada has a good sellout and is working well at the point of sale where they are. So where the brand is. So the point of sale are happy. They are reordering. So we went step by step, each year a bit more of point of sale and continue like this. I think we are taking a lot of market share to brands who became crazy with the prices. So we are probably gaining those market share. and I want that we continue in this line. So we'll have more of the B2B team available at time to watches for the point of sale, and some journalists also because they also go to time to watches. And I will be myself and our peer manager Jeremy in Chronopolis. So that's how we will do.
Surprise, surprise! You'll be where the champagne is.
There will be champagne everywhere, but maybe more in Chronopolis.
I'm sure it'll be flowing. Okay, I promise this is the last question on Nivada Grenchen, but it's very interesting that you are focused on having so many retail points of sale, because you said earlier about 50% of your business, or 50% of, like, let's say, profit comes from B2C, and then you've got the other 50%, but of course double volume in watches when you account for margin coming through your retail channels. If you are to expand to 250 or 500 retailers, do you see that happening in line with similar growth on the B2C side of things, or do you intend on leveraging the more effective production costs due to the increase of pieces made to move more into a retail focused environment?
I think it's. I didn't want to. At first, I didn't want to do too many B2B because I was thinking it was eating my B2C online. But our B2C online is progressing, is growing also. So and we see that a lot of people still don't buy watches online because they prefer to touch and feel. A lot of people not knowing a lot about watches and watch brands like us, they just go to the shop and say, I want to watch brown strap, a black dial to my boyfriend for his birthday, and Swiss made and below 1,000. So, I mean, we are touching a lot of people also like this. And also it brings more maybe confidence to people to see that the watch is real and distributed in many points of sale, to then buy online because they saw it next to other big brands and other established brands. So I think it's nurture the two to be there, but it only makes sense if you managing very well your stock, your shipping, and be sure you have sell out and you are not just putting watches inside stores and then the store say discount half price because he has too many stock, and what a lot of brands unfortunately have done last years. So it needs to be very carefully done, and it's one of my big obsession to be careful about that, and also about the pricing and not being crazy about that. So I think but it's working for now, so I hope it will continue to work like this.
We definitely need to get you back on the show in a few months' time to see how this growth strategy has progressed and to talk about the response and, I'm sure, rapid sellout of the erotic piece that we've had some fun discussing today. We're going to wrap up this episode. Of course, our listeners will be able to hear you again in the dedicated Space One episode, which will be running on Chronopolis Radio very soon. In the meantime, I wish everybody at the fair a lovely day, and stop by Nivada Grenchen to talk to Guillaume and have a lovely glass of champagne. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it.